And I've had the opportunity to see a lot of areas in Australia, and I think that I might be a little bit biased, but I think we absolutely live in one of the best regions in Australia by far. I'm just an ordinary bloke, really, and then some people might find that hard to swallow, but I went to Victoria Park State School. I went to Mackay State High School. Now, I didn't go to university, and there's a story behind that because I was off to the Air Force and I didn't get there either. But look, you know, my father's home, we only sold a couple of years ago. The home I grew up in Kippen Street, overlooking Harrop Park. And I say to kids, you can do anything from Mackay, as long as you're passionately involved in what you want to do. And the fact that we live, you know, at the end of a 100-kilometre valley, it's unique on the Queensland coast. Our valley and the little towns that are sprinkled up the valley, and the fact that we've got rainforest at the top and 32 beaches in our precinct down the bottom, you know, where else in the world would you want to live? I've had some really good relationships with a lot of the other mayors, particularly the mayors of the big cities, and how they approach things. I also read a little bit around to get inspiration from other leaders. I've always been a big fan of Winston Churchill, not just for public speaking, but for the way he derived his inspiration. He was a very challenged guy, you know, like he's got some really good ideas, and it's about, as a group, bouncing off each other. I've been the chair of the Regional Queensland Council of Mayors for the last 18 odd months, and that brings a lot of the mayors together. And we have the opportunity to talk about the things that are grassroots problems for us, but the things that actually can grow our communities. And so there's the inspiration. From a personal perspective, I think my first solo in an aircraft. Because you realise after that, geez, you can do this. And I was young, I was like 17, and you don't know what's coming. And we landed with the instructor, and he just said, he said something in the tower, and he said, just pull off from the first taxi. We went, okay. And then they opened the door and got out. And he said, just do one on your own. Your legs are shaking, and it's like, and but when you do it, the elation is just fantastic. In my role as Mayor of the Mackay Regional Council, the positive side of it outweighs the negative side of it, in my view. And the positive side of it is dealing with people, is being out in the community of Mackay, whatever it is, whether it's the men's shed or the church groups or sporting groups, whatever groups that I get the chance to go to. And I only go to the things that I'm invited to, and that's just constant. But I love to do it because this is Mackay in action. This is our community in action. And when I see that, and when I see the people passionately involved in actually making our community work, that's the positive side of my job, and that's what I love. Now, there's the perfunctory side, which is the council meetings and the business of being the mayor in terms of chairing the council meetings and making sure there's good governance, etc., under the Act. And then there's the meetings that we have probably between 200 and 300 meetings that aren't council meetings, they're just people coming to see you. And that can vary from people with $30 million in their back pocket wanting to invest in Mackay to somebody who's got a noisy rooster problem with a neighbour next door. And that's sort of, that's challenging but uplifting as well. It's people. And it's being able to get the best out of people that's really, really encouraging. If you can get the best out of people, you get the best out of the bottom line. So it's the people side of the business that actually encourages me, and that's why I love doing what I do. You don't change a leader to actually deliver that. That's my focus. My focus is actually growth, and the growth I've already talked about. The growth in agriculture, the growth in tourism, the growth in what we're doing in terms of PDA and the mountain bike track and the Northern Mixers Community Hub, to making sure that we're building a community that people want to live in, livability and livelihoods. That's the way we'll grow, and it's about having the right people around the table who have that vision. But I also believe that this community that we live in is one of the best I've ever seen. I've had the chance, even in my cadet career, looking after Australia, I've had the chance to travel the whole of the nation. We have a fabulous community, and it's about the passion to represent that community that has always driven me in whatever I've done. So.
Authorised by Greg Williamson, 11 to 90 Court Mackay.